sometimes I mix the two together. Now I know a lot of you don't like politics, you don't care about politics, but politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard you try to avoid it. But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape. So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News, before we get into this video, shall we? Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news from all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center.
Ready
Every
for
story
orders.
comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership,
Deploying.
and headlines that helps you understand the full story and
Transmission
make sure you're getting
received.
both sides.
Got a
One
job
of my
for
favorite
me?
features from Ground News has to be the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by only one
Firing
side of the political
turrets.
spectrum and ignored by
Firing
the other.
turrets.
For example, here is a story about how the CIA uncovered
Firing
a Russian
turrets.
fraud, and right away we can see how it has been
Firing
covered by
turrets.
41 sources, and out of those 41
Firing
sources,
turrets.
93% of them
Target
believe
acquired.
right.
Firing
With only
now.
2 left-wing
Ready
outlets
for
reporting
battle.
the story. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a story. For example, this story about Zoran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says, Zoran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing
Reading
outlet
you
says,
loud and clear.
Meet Zoran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see, very different vibes. I have been using Ground News since 2021 because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see how different stories are framed so differently, and I love it. I highly recommend it. It's one of the few apps that I wake up and just immediately check. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. High praise. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a coffee. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code right there on screen, or the link in the video description down there to subscribe to Ground News today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way. So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right? Now, let's get back to the video. With all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution.
Scouts have
to
found a
the
colonizable
right-wing
planet.
Male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class.
Military
Democrats
research
have blown
complete.
millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys. The plan? Codename SAM, or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces. The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is
where
treating young
to,
men
Commander?
like exotic
Deploying.
animals they're studying.
What
Now,
now?
as you can see here, is the young man in his natural
We must
habitat,
teach them
in a dark, messy
respect.
cave surrounded
Firing
by
all
Taco Bell
turrets.
wrappers and empty Mountain Dew bottles. Here is another young man, as you can see,
Firing all
also
turrets.
dwelling in a dark cave. This one has
We
dyed
must
his
teach
hair
them
blue
respect.
to scare off
Firing
potential
all
predators.
turrets.
Unfortunately,
We
it
go
also
now,
scares
yes?
off potential mates. But
We
moving
must teach
on,
them
here is
respect.
another, young man, we think.
Firing all
We're
turrets.
not quite sure about
Firing
this
all
one. We're
turrets.
still studying it.
Target
Listen, Democrats,
acquired.
instead of spending
Firing
$20
now.
million to do that stupid
Firing all
maybe you should,
turrets.
I don't know, actually listen to men.
Firing
I
all
listen to men for
turrets.
free all the time. All I have to do is
Firing
read
all
my comment
turrets.
section. Let's see here. Shoe on Head is a perfect example
Target
of why we need to
acquired.
appeal the
Firing
19th.
now.
Greetings from Albania. I hate women so much it's unreal. Ooh, shoo, mommy, milkies, milkies, milkies,
Firing
mommy,
all
mommy,
turrets.
mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle. Okay, on
Com
second thought,
link
maybe my
online.
comment section is not the best source.
Since Trump scored big with young male voters last election, Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the stats don't bear that out now.
Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh no. The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how
where
the
to,
Democrats
Commander?
are spending $20 million
Deploying.
to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because who else better equipped to talk about men's issues than two stupid blonde bimbos? Hold on one second. 3 stupid blonde bimbos. Sorry. I felt left out. All right, let's go. Wait. I need my gamer fuel. See? I do drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
It's a major problem. And you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social
Comlink
awkwardness
active.
as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining
Military
birth rates,
research
people
complete.
not getting married and having children. You
Got
know,
a
it's big
job for
problem.
me?
They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get
Commerce
married.
upgrade
They wanna
complete.
Have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in
Give
society.
the order.
It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet
Let 'em
people
have
in
it.
real life. Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy
Good
said.
day, Commander.
One f***ing guy. Because I
Standing
guess
by.
there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry, I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs. F you. Nice. Thanks. I love you. I love you too. Is the amount of young men living home with their parents increasing? Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No. And also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy. They're financing it. Come on. Get with the times.
There are a
Where
lot of young
to,
men out
Commander?
there who want to live in mama's basement
Deploying.
and order DoorDash.
Give
and
the
that's
order.
why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh
We
air.
must
Have either
teach
of you
them
tried applying
respect.
for a job as a young man recently?
Target
or tried buying a
acquired.
house on the
Firing now.
salary of one of these young men? Have you experienced the dating market, been on the
Firing all
dating sites
turrets.
as a young man? No?
Target
Interesting, okay.
acquired.
Just
Firing
wondering.
now.
Listen, I know the average age
Firing
of
all
a Fox News
turrets.
viewer is like 70 nowadays, and you need to pander to them. But Tommy, you were like 2 years younger than
Comlink
me.
active.
You know this isn't true. Why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer? I'm sorry, I have no other word for this, but I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead, boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers, they are lovely people.
Where to
a lot
now?
of you guys are boomers, but when the baby boomer generation sends its
On my
people,
way.
it is not sending their best. They are not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation. They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook. But some, I assume, are good people. But my god, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest
Good
economy
day,
known to man,
Commander.
and they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like, why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy
Military
Warren
research
see people
complete.
struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so many millennials and boomers don't want kids. I want to make the world a better place for my children.
Commerce
I want to make the world
upgrade
a better
complete.
place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children. Not happening.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat? I know there's like a decrease in testosterone or something happening, but men are moving right-wing all over the
Got
world.
a job
Does
for
that
me?
correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot
Attack!
of far-right femboys, so...
Let him have it.
Maybe. But here's the thing, Tammy. There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact f***ing opposite. According to Pew
Looking
Research,
for something?
64% of women younger than 50 say they
I'll
just
find
don't
a
want to
way.
have children. No reason, they just
Where
don't want
to
them.
now?
There's 50% of men who say the same. Another study
I'm
by a
already
Oxford
there.
Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a
Commerce
child, while only
upgrade
50%
complete.
of men said the same. For men, the most commonly cited factor was personal finance, but among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence. Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been ass-blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea that men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is gonna be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually
Give
not
the
ready
order.
to be husbands and fathers.
That's a
Yes,
cultural
sir.
issue. So, look,
No, I would actually, back to your point,
Yeah.
I think it's a biological thing.
Got a
let me get
job
this
for
straight.
me?
Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also,
I'm
young
on
men
it.
are biologically incapable of
Let 'em
commitment
have it.
and being parents. What? But wait,
Standing
there's
by.
more. She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
And as a woman, I want a
Good
strong
day,
man
Commander.
who's a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will
Plotting
protect me,
jump
protect
coordinates.
my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector, and a provider. If you think you
So
need to
nothing.
get
So you
something
got
out of
nothing.
it, I quite frankly don't
so
consider you a
nothing.
real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative,
What now?
let's check the Facebook comments
I'll do my best.
on this Fox News video, because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer
Got a
thinks
job
about
for
this.
me?
If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame, blame, blame. These two women have a combined age of 93, and they have zero
We must
children
teach
between
them
both of them.
respect.
You both have repugnant personality types, so
Firing
listening to this was
turrets.
like male birth control to me.
Target
My
acquired.
goodness,
Firing
boomers are
now.
ruthless.
We
Bunch
must
of
teach
sissies.
them
I served 6
respect.
years, 2 years in Southeast
Firing
Asia after
turrets.
Vietnam was
Reading you
when I
loud
was
and
18,
clear.
rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place. She's so spot
Ready
on.
for
Nothing
battle.
screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate,
Looking for
got married,
something?
bought a beautiful home,
I'm
and started a
already
family.
there.
I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my sons stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest. Okay, I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing? Immediately
fleet
kicking
is
your
under
kid out
attack.
when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly, why the f would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking, for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me, though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
Commerce upgrade complete.
Bone apple teeth. Now, unfortunately, Tommy Lauren
Com
wasn't
link
the only one
online.
pushing this stupid, lazy young men.
Civilian
don't get a job
research
bullshit.
complete.
Mike Johnson did it, referencing 29-year-old men.
Good
playing
day,
video games
Commander.
all day. Steve Scalise did it with 35-year-old men playing video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men: stay-at-home son. It's a phrase that's taken off since 27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy. And he has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Oh, get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies?
The term welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved, safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking
Commerce
about when they
upgrade
say
complete.
young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job, lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk for years about how Americans are being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor. Companies and billionaires would rather have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones who won't unionize, rather than hire American workers for a
Comlink
living wage.
active.
The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Civilian research
proposal.
complete.
That's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no net. But it wouldn't
Give the order.
kind of make everybody in
Good
America
day,
poor,
Commander.
with the concept
That's
of a
more
nation
like
state.
it.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many, many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men, and electronic engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders. On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the
What now?
brightest. Yeah, okay.
I'll do my
You're paying them
best.
less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and
Commerce
dare I
upgrade
say,
complete.
very America first. When
Let him
conservatives
have it.
confronted Elon Musk for this last
Attack.
year, he told somebody, and I quote,
Let
"Take
him
a big
have
step
it.
back and yourself in the
I'm on
face.
it.
I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. So when it comes to replacing American workers in manual labor with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just like don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement or go there to play video games. But it's not just the brown people taking the jobs. I am not beating the allegations with this one. The brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper. Aim upwards. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs, it's the women too. Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is, women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about $1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing
Reading you
the
loud and
traditional
clear.
gender pay gap for this age group. In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men's. In cities like New York and Washington, D.C.,
Commerce
that may not
upgrade
sound like a lot of
complete.
money now, but it's a growing trend that
Military
has never been
research
seen
complete.
before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage. The challenges of finding a romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing
Commanders
divide
on
in education
deck.
and career
Fleet
prospects between
created.
men and women.
What
In
now,
2024,
Commander?
40% of American
Control
women aged
group
25 to
created.
34 had a
Coming
bachelor's degree,
about.
according to Homeworld, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings
Go
by an
ahead.
estimated $1 million.
Deploying.
Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to
Ready
education
for
and their
orders.
early years in the labor
Transmission
force, and men
received.
are doing comparatively badly. Men's
Yes,
economic
Commander.
struggles seem to be having the biggest
Got a
effect
job
on
for me?
women
Firing
without a
Paris.
college degree, whose marriage rates by
Firing
45 have
Paris.
plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most effective. Modern women
Shields
are
are
no
down.
longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed
A
them
new
from the
colony
prison
has
that
been
is their
founded.
biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all. They can do anything. They can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider, but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss On Head. I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy. So today we are learning about the graph. This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew over the same time period. Notice they tracked very closely up until around 1972. Now, what happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16%
Commerce upgrade complete.
in 2023. CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average
Comlink
worker to
online.
making 350 times more. than the average worker. Anything else?
I'll
Anything
hit
else
'em
happened
where
around
it hurts.
1972? Yes,
We've
Jimmy, that is
got 'em
correct.
right where
Women
we
joined
want 'em.
the workforce
I've
around
got a
this time,
clean
but
shot. I'll
we
hit
don't have
'em
to
where
get
it
into that
hurts.
today.
Good
The fact
day,
is, hard work
Commander.
no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess. Every generation had lazy people. And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with two options: revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, whether it's college, dating, or the job market. And in a way, many young men are kind of
Commerce
choosing
upgrade
revolution. The never
complete.
before seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate this, I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this
Hostile
recently
forces
in
have
New York
arrived.
City, where Zoran Memdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, won the Democratic primary. Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system and they want to burn it down and start again. They want something that works for them because this is not working for them.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Huh. Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for.
What do you need to know?
You should probably start.
I'll find a way.
When they saw this airing on Fox News, they saw an angry woman
Looking for
yelling at
something?
voices about how
I'm
everything wrong in the
already
world is
there.
their fault. An all too familiar thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox
Where
News.
to
So this
now?
is not really going
I'll
to
find a
benefit
way.
on young men whatsoever. So keep that $20 million. You might still need it. Unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come
Our
running
shields
back
it down,
to the
Commander.
Democratic Party. Maybe not. Maybe not even
Comlink
George Bush's
active.
Electric Boogaloo will have men coming back to the Democratic Party. Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but we'll see, I guess. Hold on one second.
Civilian research complete.
That's better. So that
A
was
new
that video.
colony
What do
has
you
been
think of
founded.
the male loser epidemic. Do you agree with Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your comments below. I read them all. I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No. You can't say that. No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A. If you like this video, please subscribe, and if you can, donate to me on Patreon, or leave a little tip with a little tip jar down below. Give it a little heart. It helps the channel, and I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys again soon with a new video, a new slop video, because I know you gremlins love that shit. Bye!
Reading you loud and clear.
And it's time for Lefties Losing It. Let's start with the insufferable Michelle Obama, who appears to have created a podcast just to share passive-aggressive invective about her husband and to whine incessantly. Here she is with actress Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She's also a Democrat activist. And yes, she's whining again. Apparently life for the
Commerce
American
upgrade
woman is
complete.
unbearable. Those women living in Afghanistan and Iran, living under Islamist rule, they should be shedding tears for these two indulged
Military
millionaire
research
victims.
complete.
Women, we have so many landmines and barriers and don'ts and limitations. It's, you know, I mean, Craig, you're the guy at the table, but I think it's important for all guys
Ready
listening,
for battle.
especially men raising daughters, to realize that difference.
Standing by.
You know, and that thing that inadvertently, as you
Good
were
day,
loving
Commander.
and raising these beautiful girls, there are so many rules baked that in, make us small, baked in without our knowing it. You know.
Oh, it's baked in, folks, baked in. Let's hear an example of this baked in oppression facing women in the
Standing
West.
by.
Please educate us, Julia.
And I wish I could. I mean, I remember people saying, "Oh, well, she's a female doctor," as opposed to just she's a doctor.
Wow, profound, profound. That's just terrifying subjugation. I think I have secondhand trauma from just hearing that. You know, Julia Louis-Dreyfus campaigned for Kamala, even though her second most famous character she played, Selena Myers, was essentially Kamala. Let's have a look at Vice President Selena Myers and Vice President Kamala Harris.
My fellow Americans, words have many meanings, and sometimes instead of conveying our meaning, they can suggest other meanings.
When we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community.
Well, we are the United States of America because we are united, and we are states.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Whatever we have in store cannot be known. The past was once the future. The future is, I should say, unknown.
We gotta take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
Now that's terrifying. She came this close to being president. And today is the anniversary of the assassination attempt against Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Let's have a look at the way the leftist print media reported the president suffering a gunshot wound,
Commander.
narrowly escaping being killed. Just have a look
You
at some
made
of
the right choice.
reporting,
Comlink
and serve as a
active.
reminder that you don't hate the leftist media enough. You think you do, but trust me, you don't. Let's start with CNN. Their headline read, Secret Service
Yes,
rushes
Commander,
Trump off
at
stage
once.
after he falls at rally. He must have been clumsy that day. NBC referred to popping noises. Were they balloons, NBC? At least MSNBC mentioned gunshot-like sounds, while the Washington Post mentioned loud noises. Loud noises. Reminds me of this scene from Anchorman.
Loud noises!
But I've got to say, the worst of a bad lot is USA Today, who went with this headline. They said Trump removed from stage by Secret Service after loud noises startles former president. Just incredible. And the broadcast media, who habitually lied about Donald Trump, who for 8 solid years did everything possible to whip up hate and hysteria against Trump, well, they were eager to blame him for almost being killed. Here is ABC.
You point out those statements from J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy. Of course, President Trump and his supporters have contributed to this.
Commerce upgrade complete.
Well, absolutely, George. We were just looking back this morning at some of the things that former President Trump has said. He warned last March of potential death and destruction if he were charged by the Manhattan District Attorney. Our country is being destroyed if they tell us to be peaceful. Trump in January warned of bedlam in the country if the criminal charges against him succeeded. And of course, in March, he said, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least
Civilian
of it.
research complete.
For the country. That will be the least of it. He said he was partly joking and that was taken out of context. But those are indeed his words.
Just shameless victim blaming and gaslighting there by ABC. By the way, that bloodbath comment was about the car industry. It's all on tape. You can watch it for yourself. ABC is, of course, lying, misleading. This is the same organisation that just paid a massive settlement to Trump. Not a big enough price for deliberate dishonesty. And yes, George Stephanopoulos was at the centre of that case. But back to the reporting after the assassination attempt. Not only did they seek to blame Donald Trump for almost being killed, but I wonder if they can find a way to perhaps blame his supporters. Maybe mention January 6 again.
Supporters are certainly in some parts angry, and let's remember January 6th. In so many ways for the campaign, January 6th will probably be in the background after yesterday's event. This is a very difficult time for this campaign. I'm sure this week in Milwaukee that President Trump will highlight this.
Commerce upgrade complete.
Gutter reporting there. Now let's go to the footage. This was shot by one of the rally attendees. This is the immediate aftermath. It's astonishing footage.
The president's been shot. Oh no. No. Either that or they're covering. We don't know. Either that or they're covering him.
Comlink active. Easily done. Base jump on my mark. Aye.
We love you, President Trump. We love you. Yes. 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 We love you, President Trump. No, he's shot.
Joining me now is journalist Patia Ungasagon, author of Second Class, How the Elites Betrayed America's Working Men and Women. It's just astonishing footage, that extraordinary history-altering moment. What are your thoughts as you reflect on that day?
Thank you so much for having me, Rita. I have to admit, I got teary-eyed seeing that. I had never seen it from that angle before, and you can hear the utter anguish in the voices of the people shooting it and the people around them, because of course when he went down they didn't know if he had been killed. And on the one hand, it was so completely dangerous for him to stand up again, but the fact that he insisted on doing that, on showing his supporters that he was alive and he was okay, and saying those famous words, fight, 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 it really showed you the mettle of this person. And whatever we thought we knew about Donald Trump, I think in that moment we all saw a side of him, a kind of heroism and a leadership and an attachment to the well-being of the nation that I've never seen from another leader in my lifetime. The thing that made him take his own life in his hands for the second time and endanger himself was the desire to prevent, I think, mass stampede at the rally itself. And he has spoken very proudly of how proud he is of his supporters, that nobody ran, that everybody sort of waited to see what had happened, but also the desire to prevent violence in the streets of America. God forbid the assassin had succeeded. So truly an amazing, amazing moment. And thank you for playing those clips from ABC. I had forgotten what it was like during the campaign to just listen to them lie and lie and lie and lie about him. And
ready for battle.
Feels like it's in a
Fire at
really
will.
different place right now. I mean, they still try to do that.
Our planet is under siege.
Is buying it and
Good day, Commander. Military structure complete.
Well, yeah,
Fleet deployment acknowledged. Standing by.
In the toilet.
Control group created.
It deserves
We
to be
got
there
them
because
right
they have
where we
disgraced
want them.
themselves consistently for 8 solid years, longer than that. Now, what about the assassin here? And he did kill a man on that day. He didn't succeed in killing Donald Trump. That miraculous just head turn at that last millisecond saved his life.
Civilian structure complete. Logistics upgrade complete. Our fleet is under attack.
Yeah, what do we know about his family, his motivations, his digital footprint? Is there any information that we can
Military
look at and
research complete.
understand why he did this?
We know nothing about him. I haven't seen any reporting to expand on what little we learned really in the days after. There is almost nothing known about this person, his motivations, his life, what led him to do this, to do this absolutely horrific thing, which of course took Corey Cooper-Brantini's life.
Yes.
At the rally. And I also will never forget, he was a firefighter.
Aye.
And at the RNC, the Republican National Convention, which was really just days after the assassination attempt, the president was still wearing the bandage on his ear. When he first came
Reading
out on
you
stage,
loud and
it was
clear.
the 4th day of the RNC. I'll never forget this. He'd asked
Civilian structure complete. I've got a clean shot. I've got a clean shot.
And before he began to speak, he walked over to it and he just sort of held